you have no money, or your boyfriend just broke up with you, you're heartbroken, you're in debt, or you are having a health crisis. I've been there. I have been there. And cry me a river. This is the human experience. According to my friend Natalia, this is really something happening in the transits over the next few years.
Hey, my name is Natalia Magilna. I'm a human design analyst, and my friend Karen Macmillan asked me to record this short video for you and tell you about something extraordinary happening in the sky right now. This refers to a planetary transit of Pluto through gate 60 on the Rave Mandala, gate of limitation. Pluto is a powerful planet, I should say. It's the slowest planet in our solar system, and it stays in one gate for almost 4 years. So this means that Pluto brings really global themes to the humanity, and there's no way to avoid it. Limitation is a serious thing. This is a kind of physical sense of being limited, not being able to break through, not being able to be released. And this might be very uncomfortable condition. And this energy brings deep, deep melancholy of having nowhere to go, not being able to be released, not being able to do anything to reduce the pressure. And sometimes this melancholy can become even stronger and turn into real depression. We are going through difficult times when each and everyone on the planet will feel limitations, and the humanity will experience different kind of limitations, regardless of whether they are external or internal. Financial limitations, limitations in resources, limitations in our movement around the planet, limitation of growth, and so on and so forth. So how to deal with it? The subtitle to Gate 60 says that the first step to transcendence is acceptance, meaning that there's no way to destroy limitations, no way to break through. The only way to deal with them is to accept. Because if you think our body is the limitation itself. There's another aspect of the 60th gate I would like to mention, is that it is all about old, limitation of old. Pluto is a great planet of transformation and death. As it travels the 60th gate, it signals the end, the death of everything which is old, everything which doesn't work anymore, so that the humanity could move forward to something really, really new. It's something that didn't exist before.
So what I want to share with you today is, however you are being squeezed, however life is pressing on you through your circumstances, however uncomfortable it is, this is a huge opportunity for you to bake in the holy fire, as my friend Sani says. She says roast in the holy fire, or pressurize into a diamond. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's really true. And so I want to share a little bit with you today about this that I've gone through recently. I'm calling it the freedom frequency. And I'm actually going to be sharing about it through a series of videos that are delivered on my website platform. So it's a paid offering, and I'll put the link below so that you can learn more about it. But today's message is really for anyone who's baking in the holy fire or going through lack and limitation, as we all do as humans. It can be extremely uncomfortable, but there's a few things that help to make it a lot more comfortable and secondly, extremely productive and beneficial. So the first thing to remember when you are experiencing lack and difficult circumstances is, this is a teaching from my book, Alchemy of Consciousness. Every single difficult thing that you live is for one purpose and one purpose only, and it's for your evolution. So in my book, the channeled message was evolutionary circumstances is what challenges are called. We receive custom-made evolutionary circumstances that are tailored to our exact consciousness so that we can evolve in a certain direction that is basically us becoming more us. You becoming a greater expression of your real essence, your truest and fullest expression of self. So if you can look, zoom out from whatever you are going through right now and just see and ask yourself, what is this evolutionary circumstance trying to mold me into? Who is the person that comes out the other side of this greater? And what is life trying to make me become? These questions can help you to see that there's actually something really good trying to come of your present circumstances. I have recently gone through a series, it was like a one after the other kind of tower moment. If you know the tarot cards, the tower is where everything kind of destructs. And I had a business partnership that fell through where there was a lack of alignment between us, a breakup with my boyfriend that I was super in love with, a health crisis that laid me out for an entire week with fever and rashes that were really uncomfortable. I was leading a mastermind which ended, and so my income dried up, and I was trying to create and offer new offerings, but none of them were really aligned. So I was going through a huge evolutionary circumstance in really all dimensions of my life, my friendship, my romantic life, my health, my finances, and my business. And this tends to happen for me in my life because I have the cross of the sleeping phoenix in human design, which is all about burning down and then rising from the ashes. So it's like things, when one thing goes wrong, it tends to just all fall apart for me. But what was amazing about this experience was that I had moments where I felt like a victim and where it was really, really, truly so painful and uncomfortable. I had those moments, but my overall experience of these evolutionary circumstances has been empowerment, alignment with freedom, with truth, with well-being, with love, and I feel better than I have ever felt. What has facilitated that partly has to do with gate 55 in human design. So if you're familiar with human design, you might know about gate 55, which is, it's called the gate of abundance of spirit. And this gate is going through a mutation for all of us. So according to human design, the entire world is about to transition into the right angle cross of the sleeping phoenix in 2027. So we're kind of preparing for this big change. And gate 55 is at the center of that change. And I happen to have that gate in position very strongly in my chart as my core genius. And this gate has to do with a transmutation of victimization into freedom. So it's really easy to experience ourselves as victims when we're living this human body, because we all go through duality. We all have experiences that are evolutionary circumstances that are challenging. We really can't escape that as long as we are humans. And yet, regardless of the conditions, we can experience ourselves as free. And that is what this past period has really shown me, because regardless of what has been happening, I have felt free. I have felt abundant. Like old programs that kept me in lack have just been falling away. And in the presence of this feeling of freedom, what I would call the freedom frequency, I am receiving new innovations around how I'm doing all of these things. So for example, that business partnership really had to go away because it wasn't aligned. So I don't want to build more upon that because there was a misalignment of values. So thank goodness that dissolved. The romantic relationship, as much as I love this person, I had received numerous messages, including a direct channeled message that this person was not for me, and it wasn't sustainable and aligned to build more on in the future. Health-wise, I had been running some patterns that were inherited through my lineage that were keeping me from my fullest aliveness, and as I go forward, I can see that had I kept those, I wouldn't have had the upgraded body capable of holding the highest frequency because of these old patterns. And these were causing me to feel less alive. The health challenge kind of forced me to redo my way of interacting with food and my diet, and also shifting the way that I'm doing my exercise. So I feel, even just a month later, like a million times better. I look better, and I know it was a huge upgrade that I was just avoiding doing because I was kind of lazy, you know what I mean? Like, these circumstances forced me to make changes that are for the best of what is actually serving me. Financially, I had a few things that needed my attention financially that I had been avoiding, because this is really an area of challenge for me, handling like tracking money, and it's always been a weakness, and I've tried many things over the years. But what I've realized is that I really need to find my way, the way that actually works for me in my brain, because what happens is I get really disempowered. So I either just completely delegate it, or I avoid it. And the times in the past when I have done the best with this is when I figured out my own system. So it's forcing me to work on that. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on, because my evolutionary circumstances are showing me this is absolutely something I need to focus on. Business-wise, what I was shown in these circumstances over the last months with my mastermind ending and creating new offerings was that there were ways that, as I was able to get more and more into the freedom frequency, that as I shifted into that new frequency, it became really obvious that there were subtle ways that I was embodying compromise, obligation, guilt in my offerings, in the way I feel okay to receive. Like, I've got to sacrifice, I've got to do things I don't actually really want to do things that aren't aligned. So it was coming in very subtly, and it's like I wouldn't have seen it if I hadn't shifted the frequency. But when I shifted the frequency, I was able to really see these things that didn't feel good in how I had created my offerings. I've been rejigging my offerings and coming more into alignment in a way that feels amazing. So one, you can feel free within whatever circumstance of lack you are in. And the ability to actually experience the freedom frequency, regardless of your circumstance, will then bring you the new ideas, the new ways of being, the new ways of operating that are in alignment with more freedom. So you get to build upon that. Secondly, you truly do not want more built upon unpure, distorted frequencies. So even though you might consciously with your mind think, I want more clients, I want more money, I want a lover, of course we all want these good things, but if we're building upon distortion, the only thing that we get when we get more is more distortion. And I've already lived that. I've already lived that with building a very successful coaching business and feeling so drained by it because it was built upon distortion. So you've got to start with your frequency in alignment and and in this really solid place, and clear out anything that is not that, so that you can build upon it. That's exactly what we're doing in the Freedom Frequency. It's a series of video transmissions that I'm sharing through my platform on my website, as well as a Facebook group to interact and support your process, and some live calls, including a little mini channeled reading with me. So all the details I'll put below with the link. If you have any questions, just feel free to reach out. It's gonna be frigging amazing, and I'm really excited to share it with you. I hope that this is helping you to see that regardless of your circumstances, that you have the possibility to be free, and that life isn't just squeezing you for no reason. You're being squeezed so you become something. And the moment you start to investigate who are you really here to become, and why are these circumstances showing up in this particular way so that you can evolve, that's where things get really awesome. Let me know what you got from this video, please. I'd love to hear. Much love.